Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are back yet again to talk about The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 14, The Tragedy. What a way to start an episode, calling it The Tragedy. That never bodes well, ever, when you call something...
that's the nature of tragedy.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. This week's episode, just to do our quick datapad download, was directed by Robert Rodriguez, who apparently was a late replacement, according to him.
Yeah.
And written by Jon Favreau, of course. And another gorgeous looking episode.
Yeah.
Not only a late replacement, but he said about the script, I was just like, this doesn't even feel like a real script. It feels like a fan wrote this in a fever dream, hoping that this would be an episode.
That's good stuff. Because didn't he say it was only like 19 pages long?
Yeah.
That is a really... That's
so
like
he added a lot of action.
Yeah, that's like one of Rhett's Star Trek fan films, basically. That's about the length of one of those.
Yeah, no, they can't be more than 15 minutes for legal reasons.
for legal reasons. Oh, well, I mean, this was close to that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Action scenes don't take up a lot of real estate on a script. So you could cover 3-4 minutes of running without with a sentence on a script, on a shooting script. So he may not have had a whole lot of dialogue to work with, but he made it all work.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it was good.
It's about the best looking Mando episode I think we've seen. Episode 1 was great with the Great Dragon, but this one, just the way it was shot, the shot composition.
Mm-hmm.
The effects were fine. There wasn't a whole lot to do there. It just looked good. It looked very cinematic.
Well, so it didn't take you out of it at all that right away this is a location shoot, not a shoot on the volume.
No, it felt
that added to it.
Yeah, it made it feel more movie-like, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It felt better. It felt more grounded, and made me connect to what was happening better than the volume or anything else.
Yeah, best looking episode in California. That's accurate.
Yeah.
Thanks. Gosh, everybody that's watching live, thank you guys so much for always supporting the show. It's
where
always
did they film this? Y'all know? Was it California?
It was in some park in California. Someone identified it. I can't remember what it was.
Apparently, it was where they shot MASH, the television show.
Oh, okay, yeah, Korea.
Around that. Korea, exactly.
It's in Pyongyang.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because some people, not that the Twitterverse is necessarily anything that you want to pay too much attention to, but there were some people actually complaining that it looked too much like a fan film.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just
I've heard that, but
this year, and it's interesting because this year there was a pretty good fan film that came out earlier this year that was sort of like a combo of Star Wars and Indiana Jones that I watched that looked just as good as this did as far as the shooting style, because you could tell it was Southern California. So it's interesting. I mean, I like it. It didn't bother me at all.
I mean, this is the planet we have, right?
Yeah.
We have to use what we've got. We don't live on an alien planet, so anytime you go outside on Earth, it's going to look about like that. Really, I'm glad it's not one more desert planet.
Right,
right.
Right.
That was a different terrain than we were used to seeing, I think.
Yeah,
honestly, it had sort of
it was cool.
Western.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I knew it was in Southern California, but I mean that's just your brain telling you things that aren't important. It was a good looking shot, a good looking episode. I mean, the helicopter shots were good. I guess they're drone shots now, right? I mean, we don't use helicopter shots anymore, or crane at the very least. Yeah, it's all drone, right? But yeah, some of the establishing shots were great.
Yes.
You didn't get a lot of establishing shots in the sequel trilogy, so it's nice to see an establishing shot. I thought Rodriguez did really well. I mean, you could tell that it was a director directing the episode instead of an actor or a writer. Like, this was somebody who knew how to shoot film.
Yeah,
and I thought I mean, it looked different. The episode
Well,
looked different to me.
To be fair, a little bit though, most of what Robert Rodriguez does now is CGI movies. I mean, like
Yeah, I mean, I know this wasn't
Spy,
Spy Kids or whatever.
Spy Kid. It's like all at his in Austin on his soundstage. He wishes he probably had the volume, and maybe that's why he did the episode. Maybe they're like, look, we need a last minute replacement. We'll give you the volume. If you want to shoot one of your movies on the volume, I'll just let you come shoot on it. I mean,
that Shark Boy and Lava Girl sequel, you can shoot some of it on the volume.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's coming out.
Yeah,
that's a real thing. Yeah,
I think the terrain made it feel like a Western, which is like this is sort of like a Western, right?
Sure.
And then it had a little bit of.
Yeah.
Some of this reminded me of Lord of the Rings, and that sort of reminded me of Weathertop a little bit. And then when there was sort of a vibe of that. I mean, it had a lot of cool references, I thought.
We've got our Star Wars. We've got to be on our toes. Fett Maddox in here, and he's the Star Wars expert, so we've got to really be on our toes with. I mean, he's probably wondering why we've got 2 references to Jaster Muriel up in here.
Look, I came to the party with this first. All right.
Yeah,
Garrison came first with the Jaster.
Yeah.
I mean that.
I knew you guys were going to pull on that, so I just went.
Yeah, no,
well, look, the episode didn't give us a lot of names to use, so you had to make do with where you could make do.
We didn't need it. We needed action, but we had it. We got
it. This was.
Go ahead, Garrison.
This is the first episode in a while that I remember just my adrenaline actually pumping during the episode and being on the edge of my seat at times. Yep. Are they gonna take the baby like I said they would, but 2 weeks early?
That's right.
It was a lot of fun, and it was awesome to see. Obviously, we'll get into it. It was awesome to see Boba Fett donning the armor again and just kicking butt.
Oh yeah,
and we've never seen him do that in live action.
Well, and I really appreciated that he kicked butt before he got the armor. You established that the armor, with or without the armor, he's a badass, and I appreciated that quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
Wearing him out with that gaffer stick.
Yeah.
Oh, and just to be pretty cool references and stuff. That gaffy stick was kind of like something that actually. The tribes in New Zealand used something very similar to a gaffy stick as a weapon. Yeah, so
Maori.
Is that just his Maori traditional Maori weapon,
dude? And when he dragged that thing on the ground, it reminded me of that scene that we got this year in Westworld, where she's dragging the sword on the ground. I mean, that's
right.
That's what it was.
Obviously,
well, I like or the Pacific Rim where he's dragging the tanker, the oil tanker behind him as he bashes that thing with like a baseball bat.
Yeah,
first Pacific Rim reference here.
Hey, what may not be the last. I love me some Pacific Rim.
The face that's more accurate. The face smashing stick. I mean, dude,
have we ever seen like the plastoid off those?
The armorer. Did it last season.
She crushed a few. This was a little more stormtrooper damage than we've seen before. I think
it was substantial. I mean, I guess their plasteel or whatever they're using for their uniform are not doing well lately. I mean, maybe they're having some financial issues and they can't afford the good stuff anymore, and so they're just getting destroyed. We got another Dank Ferrick in this episode.
Yeah,
we did.
I'm so excited. Dank Ferrick.
That's an intro where Mando is testing out Grogu's name on Grogu. Him reacting to it.
Yeah, it was rather adorable.
Grogu during that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the cutest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it feels so real to me.
It's
like
part
that little
CGI,
guy.
part puppet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is some CGI. I didn't know there was some CGI in it.
Pretty sure.
Probably
maybe. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I know they spent $2 million on that puppet, right?
Ooh.
Yes, it did. I mean, it's not a cheap puppet. That thing they keep in a glass container somewhere away from
it looks great. I mean, they do better at expressing emotion than Daisy Ridley.
No, dang it. I always set you up.
No. She is a
Right
fine
when you started that sentence, I knew that's where you were going.
She is a lovely lady.
Derogatory about Daisy Ridley. He's like an addict. You just dangle Daisy Ridley in front of him, and he just always takes it.
I take the low hanging fruit.
Yes, you do. But man, I mean that shot that we get. Well, I mean, he finds the seeing stone very quickly. I mean, everything's happening very quickly in this episode.
Only 30 minutes. You gotta do it quick.
No filler. No filler. Yeah.
No filler. Exactly. So he puts Grogu on the seeing stone, and we get the first really visualization of the Force in that way. I'm sure that's been in a video game or something, but live action, that's kind of the first time we've seen it visualized in that manner.
And you have to wonder what is happening. Is he reaching out to someone?
He's communicating to the universe, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But like, is anyone specific going to have been reached out to? I guess.
Well, that's remains to be seen.
Well, just random Jedi. I mean, you know,
I'd be fine with random Jedi.
People online saying they saw somebody in a cloak in the background. But I think it was debunked, and it was just an accident, and it was a cameraman or something.
Oh, they'll digitally remove that.
But,
right. I heard that too. That there was a second figure up on the hill. But it looked like the rock projection to me.
It's weird shadow. Yeah,
it's weird shadow. I mean, not that. I mean, who knows? They missed Gene's guy, so maybe they missed this random camera too. That was.
So that seeing stone. Look, I didn't like the idea of it when it was first mentioned, because it seems very Rebelsy, very
and it is
very cartoony. That kind of that version of the Force that comes from a lot of the EU, the post Return of the Jedi EU with the Solo kids and all that. I didn't like any of that, and I didn't. So I was leery about going into this, but you know. It had the runes around the edge that you couldn't see until you had a visor. You could see them that way or whatever. I can convince myself that that's some sort of technology rather than just a bunch of hippie crap.
It's
hippie or at least some combination of the two, right? Where
it's a midichlorian magnifier, Rhett.
No,
maybe something like that.
It's M count. We can't say midichlorian anymore.
It's
M count.
M
count only. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that I visualize it that it's sort of like an X-Men type thing where they're going into the big orb looking for the X-Men. It's sort of like that. I mean, it's
a
calling out
device.
to whomever. And when Ezra shows up next week, nobody will be surprised. That's who I think.
Then it really is Rebels too.
It really is.
That's too much Rebels.
I don't think it's going to be Luke. I've heard some people speculate Luke, but
I mean, when you do
it's not going to be Luke.
When you do the list in your head, it's a smaller list than you would imagine, unless it's a new character that we just don't know. Which it could be Oppo Rancisis. He's still alive.
Yeah,
he's
with his snail tail lower half.
How many of these Jedi survive that far past this period? Because Luke is supposed to be the last Jedi at a certain point.
But Matic calls it a Star Wars cerebro.
Yeah, cerebro was the word I couldn't think of.
I couldn't come up with that word, but that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Which was technology, which makes me feel better. It was a conjunction of technology and whatever powers what's his name had.
There is no technology involved in this.
It surrounds us.
It's an energy field.
It fills all living things.
All right.
Exactly.
Nope.
So, I don't know, Jester.
No, he's not.
No, it's no. There's no Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, so Luke's alive. We think Ezra's alive.
Yeah, Ahsoka's alive.
Jokingly, Oppo Rancisis is alive. I mean,
there's some character from the video that some people say will show up.
Cal Kestis. Yeah.
From the video game.
The video game. He's alive.
Jar Jar Binks. Jedi Jar Jar Binks. There you go.
I would tune in for that.
It's likely that it's Luke, but I don't know that I want him to show up this season.
Maybe Leia will Mary Poppins in from.
I mean, who knows? I mean, it's interesting. I mean, could be Ben Solo show up.
Could be Ben Solo.
I mean, we don't know exactly when
yikes.
we don't know
Like a
exactly
young
when
Ben
he
Solo.
turns bad.
But I feel like he would be accompanied by Luke.
So that's the thing, though. I mean, we don't know.
He'd be like 10 years old too.
Yeah,
we don't know,
or less. He'd be less than that.
Aussie Nate making an appearance. What's up, dude?
He'd be 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
old.
he would be a baby.
Yeah. So it ain't gonna be him.
So it might not be him. But we don't know how many of these Jedi that. I mean, the school hasn't started yet. I don't think in this time period. I don't think Luke has had. We don't know.
We skipped past all that to get to the First Order. So who knows what's
The
happening?
nice lady may show up.
Ahsoka,
As he calls her, he said, "The nice lady wants you to."
Yeah, the nice lady. That was a good line. So yeah, no, I mean, most likely it's going to be Luke, but I don't necessarily want that.
I don't know that we'll see it this season.
No,
I don't know that we would want
too much ground to cover.
Yep.
Unless you get some Deus Ex Machina where it's a Jedi that shows up to save everybody in the last episode. I don't think they'll do that.
Nah.
No, I mean, next week we've obviously, and I know we're jumping around, but next week we've got the Prison Break episode because Rick Famuyiwa is directing.
Yep.
So apparently
he wrote it.
We're back.
He wrote
it's
and
directed.
That
same team, don't you think?
He's really good at Prison Break episodes.
I think it's just going to
Mayfield.
be Mayfield, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I know.
We got to go through the episode.
Well,
Yeah.
So right at the beginning, look, the scene in the Razor Crest where he's playing ball, right, where he's testing his force. I think that was to kind of convince himself that, hey, he really does have this power.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's too much for me to handle, right? He needed to get him. He was kind of convincing himself that this journey he was on was the right journey, and it was also great. I mean, it was good interaction. I mean, I like the character development between the two of them. Grogu starting to react to him. He reacts to his name was great. And,
you can tell Mando's happy under the helmet until that. Thank Ferrick.
Yeah. Well, but that was more of a just an exclamation. I didn't feel like that was out of anger. No. It was more just. I cannot believe
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I'm right here. Yeah. I can't believe I've made it right here to this point. Yep.
There's more of those. That's my boy. Kind of.
Yeah. That's how I took it. Also.
Yeah.
I mean, and pretty much since we've already talked about the Seeing Stone, I mean, pretty much right away, freaking Slave One shows up.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah. That was a good moment.
Yeah.
That was.
The sound was great.
Yes.
The cockpit interior was as it was from Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
Nice continuity. I mean, even just the visuals in there, they were very much Attack of the Clones. That whole color scheme and everything. It looked great.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, it's interesting. Do we think then now that Boba has been, reintroduced for the second time, really, because we've already seen him once this season, but I mean,
digestive juices having scarred his face.
Oh yeah, he's got some acid
like
burns
that
for sure. Yeah, he looks rough, as he should. I mean, he was in the Sarlacc pit; he should look pretty rough. But I'm wondering now if the limited series that we're getting is going to be more of a sequel series to this. I would at first thought it might be. How he got out of the Sarlacc pit and all of that. But that's kind of a boring story at this point. You almost have to do a continuation of maybe him and Ming-Na Wen together, him and Fennec Shand together.
Yeah.
In a limited series.
By the way, it's possible.
Did any of us think that she was alive still?
Only
I did, because I don't think you show that scene
with him walking up to her.
With him walking up to her without a payoff, and that told me that there was more to her, and also she's kind of a name.
As far
as guest stars go. So
it does raise the question, like maybe she was part droid first. Maybe
I've seen some of that speculated.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
That's some pretty major surgery to do on somebody, like replacing their stomach with a droid.
Robot guts.
Yeah, I mean,
anybody can do that. Yeah, did he just do that in the desert? Did he? Yeah, did he just throw that together in the desert?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose he could have got some jaw.
He used all the credits he had, and He's able to purchase some
Did he go back
parts.
did he drag her back to Amy Sedaris? And did she one of the pit droids fix her up?
Can you fix up this old stomach?
Yeah, I mean, it does lead you to believe that maybe he had some droid parts. Yeah, that meme you sent today with like a completely destroyed
Razor Crest.
Razor Crest. Can you fix this with a picture?
Yeah. Him talking to Amy Sedaris with a giant pile of destroyed sheet metal. Yeah, shards of metal. You hated to see the Razor Crest go.
Oh,
it has been through. It has been through a lot.
I think he must be getting a second one.
It's been through hell.
Yeah, it is.
It's continually had to be fixed up.
I think the Republic is going to give him one. Is my theory.
I think he's getting a second one.
Like the end of Serenity.
Yeah,
exactly. He'll get a second one because it's in the background of The Force Awakens when they land on not Octu, whatever.
Really?
Yeah. There's one in the background. Have you guys not seen that?
Background of where?
Force Awakens?
The Maz Kanata planet, whatever that planet's called.
Oh yeah.
I'm horrible at planet.
Yeah, I mean there's not just one of those.
I think it is. It's his replacement because it's a red one. It's a different color.
Where was Grogu?
Everything's
just get killed by them?
Everything must.
Grogu's going the dark side.
No, none of that happened. Grogu will be fine because the sequels didn't happen. They'll be decanonized.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I don't think so. They've got Galaxy's Edge. They really cannot decanonize.
Yeah,
they
poured too much into it.
Shan jumped off that cliff, flipped around.
She was awesome.
That was a good shot.
Just that backward jump, and I was
yeah.
Her stunt double was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was her. She did that. Look, they, if I have a minor complaint, but they seemed to have fit a lot of stormtroopers into those two transports.
Yeah,
like an endless wave of them. Okay, I just saw 15 get brutally killed. Here's 15 more. Like there ain't that much room in there. So
Dad was pretty convinced that they used a decent amount of CGI troopers there.
I don't know. I mean, you've got an endless supply of 501st hanging around in California.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's
But
a lot
they
of
don't.
them.
Yeah, they're not going to let you bash their helmets with a stick. Though.
This is true.
I imagine that. Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that some of those are 501st running out of there. I don't know that, but there were more stunts involved here than in the finale of season 1 where they did use the 501st.
Right.
This was a little more stunt oriented, so you probably didn't. I mean, these are probably real stunt people.
Well, I like their military way they were flanking though, and the guy was like, "Okay, go."
Yeah,
I like that they were a little bit smarter.
And they were surrounding them.
I just like hearing the chatter. I love hearing the chatter too, just the back and forth, like between the commander telling them what to do. I mean, and some of it's dumb chatter, that makes it better.
Well, it's vintage Star Wars. Yeah, it's vintage Star Wars Stormtrooper stuff. Yeah,
it just makes it feel more authentic in a Star Wars way when you hear that kind of ridiculous chatter like that.
I love it.
And
the fact that they can't ever hit anything, obviously, really,
there wouldn't be a show. So that's that's one of those things you just got to overlook, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
meanwhile, Mando's just up there trying to still run into the middle of that.
Dude. How many times?
He did that 3 times.
He's like,
he did it 3 times.
Try it again.
After he gets knocked out, he immediately goes up to it again. I was like,
he gave up pretty quick. I mean, it must have hurt because he gave up pretty quickly, right? I mean, he was like, and I appreciated that he. I mean, like he was really protective of Grogu. I mean, he was like, you do what you got to do, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to protect you or whatever. I mean, that was a nice. They didn't overplay that, but he was
doing the dad thing. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Although he didn't leave him, he goes, "I'm going to protect you," and he runs off the hill. And I'm like, "Well, you just left him.
Just stay there."
And then the Force came down.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh.
Yeah. Not good.
Oh yeah. I was like almost immediately. He's like, well.
I mean, another huge plot point in this episode is obviously the major retconning of having Jango Fett be an actual Mandalorian.
But
that's kind of the first.
But is it a retcon? See, Prime Minister was lying. He didn't like.
You think so?
He didn't like Jango Fett and the Foundlings, and I don't know. I'm just making it up.
Oh, okay. I had just always heard from the very beginning that we were not to think that Jango Fett was a Mandalorian. We were not to think that Boba Fett was a Mandalorian.
They said that in the Clone Wars, I think, right?
Yeah, at some point that he wasn't. Yeah, so there's kind of some changing.
Well, that's right. They're right and wrong because he's a foundling, and I guess that that's like, is Grogu is he a Mandalorian? He's a foundling.
He's part of interesting question.
I mean, he's part of Mando's clan.
Yeah.
So
I think that makes him a Mandalorian then.
Yeah, but he wasn't born in. He's not a purebred born in.
I want to see a tiny little baby Yoda in Mandalorian armor.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get.
Neither was Din Djarin though. Din Djarin.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Well, I know, but he's part of a weird sect, and the real Mandalorians are like, so
one of those guys.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a major retcon or a contradiction. It makes that chain of custody on that suit make sense. Where Mando had to give it to him now.
I mean, Nate makes a good point that maybe Bo-Katan and her night owls do not consider whatever.
You've just heard people say these things, right? Even in Clone Wars, it's out of context. I mean, it's in the context of these people who may not know the full history of everything say it. So, I mean, I don't think it's a major flaw.
So, what if? Okay, we all think, oh, well, Boba Fett's being so noble, he's helping. I'm going to help pay off because you got me my armor back. What if he's working? What if this whole thing is a ruse and he's just collecting money? Dude, I would love for him to be the bad guy still, instead of making him this anti-hero, which they're going to do. But look,
now I never considered Boba
I would love
Fett
for him to
bad
turn
guy.
all of
He
a
was
sudden,
doing
and
the
he's
job.
He's just trying to make his way in the universe.
Yeah, he's just a simple man
trying to make his way in the universe.
Listen, you can't have if you're going to have a series or limited series on Boba Fett, he has to be an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He can't be the villain.
No, I know that. I don't want to limit series on him, actually, but
I can live without it. But
it's happening.
But yeah, they are going to. I mean, at this point, I think it would be dumb to turn him back and make him the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of back and forth and playing with your emotions.
He really seemed serious about the honorable thing.
No, he did. I mean, he did get the armor back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was.
And showed him his chain code.
Yeah. I mean, once you show somebody your chain code,
that's a big deal.
So, now that we're talking about the chain code, what's all the stuff that online?
Concord Dawn, Mentor Jaster, Father Fett, Boba Fett. That's really what stands out from the translation.
Yeah.
So refresh my memory on Concord Dawn. I can't remember what happened on all that. What is Concord Dawn?
Well, that's just where presumably it's old EU stuff. Yeah, it's old EU stuff. I don't remember what happened there either.
Clone Wars too.
It was like
it was still Clone Wars was still. I mean, working off of the old EU a lot back then too, right? Some of that was pre-Disney, and so you didn't get you didn't get the new canon. So it's been around from the EU. I guess now Jango is from there. Maybe that was established in some EU prior. I don't know that, but yeah, that's what it is. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, and then of course Jaster Muriel is Boba Fett's real name. Is that what we're saying?
It was assumed that in the old canon.
That's old EU.
Until episode 2,
which undid it. Yeah, undid the whole Jaster Muriel thing, and then it ended up like, maybe that was they're still trying to shoehorn that EU absolute garbage in. He was a journeyman. He took the he took the name. Is an imposter. It was all crap. So
Obi uses his name sometimes.
This is a redo of Jaster Muriel. To bring him into the new canon, a little bit different, but still related to some of the things that that we knew from the old EU. So yeah, it was a nice. It was fine as a shout out, and you'll never see or hear of it again.
That's Filoni's fingerprints. I mean, he's because Favreau does not know that stuff. That's Filoni, like, hey man, we need to do all this stuff. We need to make this chain code say all this stuff.
It'll make people go crazy.
Yeah, it'll make everyone go crazy.
I'll read the Arabic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't write. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Favreau wrote anything in Arabic for the episode. So yeah, that's all done in post
of the Arabic.
Yeah, that's all. Well, what I'm saying is that's all done in post. He may not have known what that said until he saw the completed episode. I mean, I don't think Favreau had any say in Jaster Muriel.
Apparently, there's a comic book about Jango Fett as a young boy, and I guess I thought Jaster Muriel was his mentor. Is what I heard from one of these things I watched. Yeah, that's it. That was his homeworld.
From Django Open Season. Was that Open Season's comic?
That Matic out.
I think that was.
Is that a new one or an old Legends comic? Or?
Yeah. Well, anyway,
I don't read comics.
Now it's real. Now that's where Django's from, is Concord Dawn, and therefore, I guess Boba's not from there. I don't know.
He's from Camino, but
did we go to Camino this season?
No. Do we know that? Do we know that with certainty? And why do you think that?
I only think that because we've had several mentions of Dr. Pershing, who had the Camino logo on his, uniform or whatever. So I think that perhaps that's next stop. I mean, they're bringing baby or Grogu to.
It would bring Boba back home.
Old Dark Horse comment, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this reestablishes Jaster Muriel as into the new canon, I guess, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. If they go there, that would take Boba back home. Not that would mean a whole lot, I guess, at this point, because it probably looks really different.
It probably looks the same. It's just water. It's all wet. It's just water.
It's always raining too.
The building.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the cloning is stopped.
Yeah,
right?
that's probably kaput.
Or
has it?
Lama Sue, is she still there? Lama Sue.
No, it's all.
Lama Sue is a he.
Snoke tanks in there.
Yeah. Do you even Star Wars, bro?
Do you even Camino?
Lama Sue's a he.
Yeah, Lama Sue is the prime minister. He's got the crest on his head, dude.
Ton Wee is the female.
Oh,
that tall drink of water is Ton Wee. Look, that neck, that voice.
All right,
that shade of faint blue. All those are good things.
One of my favorite Boba moments in Clone Wars is like, "Dad, Ton Wee's here." That's what he said.
Yeah,
weird accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the New Zealand accent.
I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Oh, I did like how Boba, how Tamora Morrison said Tatooine or something. Yeah.
No, his accent was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. No, I love, dude. He did a great job. It always rains on Camino.
I thought Morrison did a good job. I'm not terribly familiar with his work. Did he knock it out of the park in Aquaman? I don't know.
He was actually not bad in Aquaman.
Yeah, he was fine. Yeah,
he's grown.
He wasn't he was his dad. He was his Earth dad.
Yeah, the Earth dad.
His human dad.
I totally forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the love affair with what's her name?
Nicole
Kidman. Yeah. Mira is the redhead that beats up Johnny Depp.
Amber Heard.
Allegedly, Rhett.
Yeah,
allegedly.
But I don't know what else he's done. I know he's done a lot of independent stuff and some foreign stuff.
Well, over in New Zealand, he's probably like, their version.
He's their Tom Hanks.
Harvey Nate, I think, is
Paul Hogan. I said Tom Hanks, and you said Paul Hogan.
Yes, that's the film that you recommended, Ozzy.
Yeah, Once for Warriors. I have seen that. I think Rena Owen is in that too, right? The voice of Ton Wee. Am I right?
I don't know.
I'm going to say that's real. I don't know if it is or not.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going to have to go back and watch Clone Wars now. Or Attack. Not Clone Wars, but Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it's
Attack of
worth
the Clones,
watching.
yeah.
Always worth watching.
Woo, just fast forward through the romance crap. Like I remember being in the theater watching it with friends, and I would and I'd seen it multiple times already, and I would distract them from it. I was like, "Oh, did you turn the iron off?" Just anything to distract them from what was going on, because I was embarrassed for myself, for them, for everybody.
I'm still fascinated. I wish that someday the IMAX cut of that would come out, because they were forced to tighten it up to 2 hours for the IMAX cut.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I actually saw that IMAX cut at Huntsville Space Dome. Yeah, it was better. It was a lot tighter. It was too much because it was in the dome and not on not the flat screen.
Yeah, you don't
they had to go to 133, but
it's way too much. Way
See,
too
I've never seen that
Yoda way too big.
Have they released that where you can purchase on Blu-ray or anything?
No.
What the heck?
It was just they had to cut it down because the spools could only take 2 hours for that IMAX film.
Oh wow!
So that wasn't on purpose.
Back in the day,
I still wish we would get. I still wish we could see it.
So I wonder. So what did they cut out? I mean,
some of the romance. I think the rolling down the hill scene was gone.
Oh,
which makes that it goes from a one. That's a full star. That's from a 1 star to a 2 star. Just taking that one scene out.
Making that one scene go away.
That's great.
Man, I want to see that version now. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably hard to pirate an IMAX film celluloid.
I know some people who work in fan cuts and stuff like that. There's no official one out there, but people have made estimations of it, that kind of thing, what they remember it being.
They got as close as they could.
Yeah.
Dude, we do. We need all the Star Wars editions.
We need like a Blade Runner set with every cut of Star Wars.
Final cut.
04, 11, 19.
Yeah.
That won't happen until Lucas dies, and then they won't care. They won't. They'll disrespect him immediately. Like the day after he dies, they'll release the non-edited cut, the original cut, when it was just Star Wars. But apparently, even then, I mean, there were still different cuts, different bits and pieces of sound.
Well, if they run the property into the ground too much more, Kmart can buy it and then just put it. They can release in all in both their stores. They have remaining.
Wow.
Man, no, Kmart is not still around. I think they're officially gone forever. I don't think they're
Sears. They bought Sears. Are there still any Sears? I don't think all of Sears. No, I know our Sears closed, but I don't think all of Sears is closed.
I think some small towns have Sears.
Sears.
What do you think of the Dark Troopers?
Sears.
What do we think of the Dark Troopers? Is that what you said?
Yeah. What do we think about the Dark Troopers?
I thought they looked.
I don't know. Let's keep talking about Sears.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dark Troopers. About the death of
hang on. I gotta go grab my 1984 wish book.
Oh man,
my dad loves it. He has like a collection of those.
Man,
they're great to go back through. That's a good nostalgia.
So I mean, since I didn't play any of the video games and stuff, I didn't really care too much about the Dark Troop. I thought they were cool looking. I thought they looked kind of BSG, but I mean, I didn't have.
I can see that.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily. I'm indifferent, really, because I did not play the video games at all.
I want to see them fighting. I want to see them.
Yes,
in
action.
That's
coming. That's
not only is
and it will.
And I hate to interrupt, but not only is Fetmatic a Star Wars expert, he's a
he's an expert in the retail space.
He's an expert in the there's no Sears.
Is there still JCPenney? We need to know.
Yeah, we got a JCPenney down the road.
Yeah, there's
JCPenney's closed, but Belk is going. But Belk is like a virus taking over our mall.
yeah,
that's right.
They have different Belk kids, Belk adults.
Yeah,
Belk home.
It's spreading around the mall.
That's accurate. That's very accurate. No, I thought they looked pretty cool. I mean,
they didn't get much. They kind of walked like those the sirens in Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's an interesting call. Wow.
But
that's what that reminded. That's what that shot reminded me of. As they were converging on the seas.
They were flying like Iron Man, sort of down.
Yeah, it had a lot. Yeah, it was very Iron Man.
Like Iron
and
Man.
listen, I complained an episode or two ago about the janky jetpack work it actually looked really good in this episode. What bit of it there was looked pretty good. So they seem to have. I don't know if that's Rodriguez, who knows a little bit more about how to manage that than the others, but the jetpack stuff looked a lot better at this one.
Yeah, when they had their windows down.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Then when even the landing, which was a dynamic shot with the camera pan, it looked really good. I mean, it looked good.
I like the update on JCPenney.
I think it's interesting when you see a sentence or a set of words that have never been spoken in that order in all of humankind.
Right.
And that is an example, right
there.
Listen, JCPenney, they tried selling appliances a few years ago, and it took up a lot of their retail space, and it was a total bust, and that damaged that brand considerably. And I think they're on their last legs, but there are some. I know we've got two local.
Yeah, once you get into the appliance game, that's never a good idea.
That's tough.
I mean, but who's going to be now that Sears is gone? And I mean, I guess Lowe's and Home Depot are the only ones left for appliances.
Yeah,
I mean, and some whatever.
I just bought a washer at Best Buy. So
yeah, Best Buy sells stuff like
that.
They
have that.
Yeah, they do.
That's where I bought a washer too.
They have that kind of stuff, but they're getting rid of the DVDs and Blu-rays. So
yeah.
No more physical media, but they will still have physical.
It's all smart. That's all smart home stuff, and they're still selling car stereos in there, though. Who
Mom
in the hell is buying a car stereo? Your mom bought a car stereo?
Yeah, a year ago we got it, and they installed it there for us.
Like, oh yeah,
really?
That's
yeah.
I gotta think the car stereo installation business is hurting about as hard as any industry in America.
Hers got
messed up. 70s where you live there, Garrison. I mean, what?
Yep.
She didn't drop like a pair of Rockford Fosgate 15s in the back hatch or anything, right? I mean, she's got some $3,000 Alpine system with an amp, and
we just had some issues with it, and the aux cord got broken in her aux thing, and we wanted to get her Bluetooth because we have hands-free laws in Georgia. So you're not supposed to hold your phone when you're.
We've got those here too, but nobody really pays attention.
Well, theirs is hardcore in Georgia, though. Yeah, like they grab you if they see you holding it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know this.
That's a good point here,
dude. I'm sorry, I don't know this reference. Is that a video game thing?
Kyle Katarn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's video game stuff.
What video game?
The other Jedi.
Was it Jedi Forces? Maybe I don't know. I can't remember.
That's not the Force Unleashed.
I don't play video games.
Jedi Knight Dark Forces.
Yeah.
Star Wars Dark Forces.
Something like that.
Well, maybe. I mean, who knows? Dude, this is essentially turned into a comic book series now. I mean, we're getting everybody. So I don't think anything is off the table. I think Mace Windu's probably coming back. I don't think anything's off the table at this point.
It's not a Fury series he's been working on. It's a Mace Windu series. And
if you offer Samuel L. Jackson a check, he will take it.
Oh, sure.
Any part, anytime.
It doesn't matter. Well, no, I saw some scary speculation that's probably accurate on social media today. Somebody pointed out anytime that Hasbro re-releases a figure, that means that they're probably going to be on screen soon. And Mace Windu's getting a re-released Black Series figure at the beginning of the year. So,
oh boy.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. It's terrifying to think because I'm tired of people coming back.
I don't want that.
I don't think it's very woke. I don't think it's very woke to call it a Black Series figure.
That's the line. That's the line that Hasbro.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So these are the two games: Dark Forces and then Jedi Knights. Okay. Yeah, I just did not. I'm not a gamer at all. So
Kyle Katarn.
Any of those Kyle Katarn.
I'm sure he's a rogue. Is he? No, he's a Jedi. No, I'm thinking Dash Rendar.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Dash Rendar, who was the rogue character.
I've heard a ton of people begging for Dash Rendar and Kyle Katarn. I mean, so I guess these are beloved characters in the. Well, Dash Rendar was in some of the books too. He wasn't just in video games.
Oh, so was Kyle Katarn, according to his Wikipedia page.
Oh, he's in,
well, they all end up in books later on. I mean, there were 7,000 turd books crapped out by whoever. back in the day.
I mean, once you get Karen Travis, once you give her a check, she'll churn out novels for you.
Yeah. She for any genre property, she's 3 a year at least.
Exactly. Now, I mean, I'm sure we're going to get more Dark Troopers. That's not the last that we've seen this season.
They'll be in
we got to fight them.
Battle at the end of the season. They'll be there.
Yeah, I mean,
what do we think about? So,
there's going to be a team up.
They trade Grogu.
Well, what'd you just say?
Trade Grogu?
Like the end scene with Grogu. Are we there yet, or do we need?
Yeah, we're there.
We're bouncing all over.
It was terrifying. It was really sad to see that him get taken.
Well, we didn't.
Well, but then he was knocking him around a little bit. I was talking about the very last scene.
Oh, the last.
Yeah. Well, before we get there, they destroyed the Razor Crest. We talked about that, but he goes to the site, and I knew immediately he was going to pick up the little knob.
Oh, knob. Yeah.
And the Beskar spear, whatever staff thingy.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to his disintegrator gun? I want that back.
Yeah, I'm upset that we haven't seen that, which the implication is that it is gone now.
Oh no.
Yeah. I love that better than the spear. I don't want him.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So all he's got is the spear and his pistol now.
And hopefully he picks up his jetpack.
Well, yeah. Obviously the ball is going to come into play again if they intentionally had it in the wreckage.
Yeah, and he puts it in his little, I don't know what that is, inside his armor.
No, I think he gives it to, like, he shows up.
He's
like
going to hold it out.
They're all
Grogu.
captured. Grogu's going to grab it, and then he's going to sling that thing through people.
Awesome.
Yeah,
he's going to go hard.
He's going to go. It's going to go hard R violence.
They're going to bring back
Rodriguez.
Violence.
Oh, the
Raiders moment. Yeah.
The rolling
boulder. Yeah.
The boulder, yeah.
Look, I appreciated that the guy with the E-web was shooting at it, shipping bits off of it. Best as good. He should have just got out of the way.
Yeah, I mean that there was a lot of cool homages in this episode, and that was certainly one of them. I mean that was a great moment. Rodriguez is very good at shooting action scenes. He just is. I mean, he's a pro at that. He's been doing that for a very long time. He shot some on film before CG was really a thing. He was shooting some great action scenes in El Mariachi and Desperado. I mean, all of those are practical shot films, and they looked great. Yeah, I mean, I obviously there's a lot of speculation that people think that Grogu is going to turn bad, and perhaps the visualization of the ball will bring him back, from the dark side and help him focus. And
I don't really think he's in the dark side right now. I think
no, I don't think he is either. But he could get there. I mean, things could, because it's going to be a couple episodes before we see him again.
Well, if they want to make maybe Grogu start slinging Force lightning around, I am there for that.
Yeah,
I am too.
I mean, I'm on board.
I'm certainly there for that too, but that might be too intense for some of the non-Star Wars viewers that just happen to pick this show up.
Speaking of too intense, I was told that there would be people that cried if Grogu was taken. Was there anyone that cried in the comments?
I don't necessarily think I cried, but I didn't like it. I was upset about it, but I don't think. Yeah.
My 5-year-old was pretty upset about it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I figured kids would
be. She did not take that well.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's probably a lot of kids that are probably like terrified of the Dark Troopers coming and taking Grogu,
or now coming and taking them in the middle of the night. That's what I told her. I'm like, you have to behave, or the Dark Troopers will come and get you.
Brett's going to use this to his advantage.
Get good grades, or the Dark Troopers will come and take you.
Eat your broccoli.
So
I didn't really, because I'm like, okay, this is where they're going. I guess I was thinking more like storyline. I was like, okay, I'm surprised he's going now, but okay, he's getting caught, and I was kind of expecting it.
Yeah, I sort of thought maybe that would be the cliffhanger at the end of the season to take us into season 3.
No, it'll be better.
Yes, Nate.
Arthur! Why did you say that name?
Why did you bring that ball?
Yes, that one.
Wait, the ball looks like the Death Star, though, doesn't it? Maybe he's going to turn evil and say, We will form a planet that kills stars.
It's Star Killer Base. Oh,
yeah.
He's the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to see it like the Star Killer. There we go.
So how evil was Moff Gideon toying with Grogu at the end of that episode, man? Pulling out the Darksaber, just tantalus.
Well, yeah.
Right in front of him.
He let Baby Yoda get tired out from smashing his troopers.
That's what I love. He stopped because he doesn't care about those guys getting killed.
No.
I like how he stopped the guy who was about to stun him. He's like, "Should I stun?" He's like, "Hold on."
Yeah. Let this thing get worn out because we're next.
Yeah, he's a great villain. He is so good, such a nice guy in real life, seemingly, and he really good at playing a villain. I mean,
that dude exudes charisma in every single thing. He's great in The Boys. Like none of these overpowered superheroes will touch him. In The Boys, and he was great on Breaking Bad, obviously. He's good and everything. He had an episode of Westworld he was in too, but I don't remember that he did a whole lot.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was like one episode. Yeah, that was a good episode. But yeah, I mean, do we think the whole 45 minutes or how? I'm hoping these next two episodes are longer than what we have gotten the last two.
I think the last one, will be. This next week will probably be. I would guess 40 minutes.
Do you think it's just going to be the prison break, or are we going to get more?
The end of the episode may be a cliffhanger into the next week, but
it'll be some sort of a handoff. But prison break, another good prison break episode.
Well, and going specifically to the Carthon Chog fields.
Oh yeah, that's where he's been sentenced.
Sounds rough.
Maybe it is just Bill Burr they're going after, not the.
Well, I mean, I think that what could probably happen is they get Bill Burr early in the episode, and then the rest of that episode is them getting the team together to go take on the Empire.
Like episode 7 last season.
Basically, I mean, it's going to mirror exactly what happens in episode 7 or chapter 7 from last year. Because he's going to have to go get Gina Carano.
Yeah, now that's interesting because she's clearly working for the New Republic now.
Oh yeah,
and he mentions they have the kid. He mentions that to her. Do you think that makes her go, okay, I'm going to break this rule and let him bounce that guy and join him in a fight?
I would think so. When you bring up the kid, I mean that changes anybody's mind.
Or since she's with the New Republic and they have a tiny baby Yoda with force powers, which would be of interest to the New Republic, why wouldn't she say, "Hey, let's take this all the way to the top to Leia and convince everybody that you need to put the full force of the New Republic onto this and put an end to it." That's what should happen. That is not what will happen.
Yeah,
then you don't
what they like to do, they just fly up and blow ships away. Like they don't
they did not ask questions. They're like, "That is that a ship taking off? Blow it up!" Oh my gosh, they were trying to take a baby to a hospital, and you guys had no idea. It's like they just shot it.
Just shoot it down. We don't care.
Do you not get the sense though that the New Republic is probably still kind of in its fledgling states, getting their government established and stuff? So I don't know. I don't know how together they are. I mean, because then you could even go to the point of saying, "Oh, well, they better go get Harrison Dula and Wedge Antilles and get everybody." I mean, then you're throwing everybody in there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with these connected universes when you tell these little pocket stories everywhere. It's the same problem with, well, why didn't all the Avengers show up for Captain America, Winter Soldier, right? It starts to stretch believability, but you can't do that. I mean, there are logistical reasons why you cannot have that grand a scale a story, right? In this setting, right. So they're not going to do it, even though on paper it seems like they probably should. I mean, where's Home One? Jump the thing, hyperspace right next to Gideon's ship and put an end to all of this nonsense, right? Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? Yeah, just plow right through there. But well, that hasn't happened yet. Nobody's thought of that yet.
Right. We have no reference.
That's another couple of decades into the future.
Exactly.
So that's the flaw in all of this. Is why wouldn't this seems like a pretty grave threat? You've got this Force user. I mean, that's information the New Republic should probably be interested in. But
a Force user that's very wanted by the remnants of the Empire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, call that in, right?
I suppose it just depends on how fledgling they still are. Like if they do not have as much of a force, or out there as I think they do. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
well, I mean, they were
going to go rescue Bill Burr's character. Do you think it's going to be just Boba and
Boba,
or do you think it'll also be Cara Dune?
I figured Cara Dune would be involved, but maybe they don't need her. Maybe they just need those four to go. It seems like you would need Cara Dune, though. It seems like you would need Cobb Vanth if he's interested.
Cobb Vanth, I forgot about him.
Can we address
He's
something?
not coming back.
Yeah,
they have pronounced Cara and Cara both ways on this show.
Han and Han.
It's like Lucas.
Yeah, Han and Han. Yeah,
I've missed that.
Orlando did it both ways. So
that's important. That's a good. I'm sure that they did that on purpose. Then I mean, that's too on the nose for them not to have.
Yeah, it's something everybody should decide going in. How do you pronounce this character's name? Let's stick to that, but they don't. They don't do that.
Oh, and I think Bo-Katan could show up. Obviously, I mean, she has interest in
Bo-Katan.
She
Katan. Tomato.
The thing I feel like to me is, I feel like if Bo-Katan's going to show up, she's going to show up for like one of the final battles with Gideon, and we know Gideon's in the next season.
Oh, as he said, he said he was, didn't he?
Yeah.
Giancarlo dropped that.
Yeah, I don't think we have to. Yeah, she doesn't have to come back right now.
Right away.
Yeah, just set her up, and she can come back next season or whenever
whenever
this thing runs its course. I mean, you've got now you've got 15 people going into this jailbreak.
We're going to turn into Endgame here. And
no.
Look, is there any possibility that
on your left?
I mean, are we definitely going to get a jailbreak episode? I mean, this seems like something they could have also done with a line, right? A few lines of dialogue where Cara Dune is like, "Hey, I had to pull a lot of strings to get this guy out. Here he is." Right? I mean,
he just walks into frame.
Yeah, you could just skip all of that and get back on your main story. I imagine they probably won't do that, but
they're going to spend an episode. Yeah, they're going to spend an episode doing this. I mean, which is fine as long as it looks cool. It's fine.
It'll be fun.
We'll find out at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be there.
All right. Well, I think that wraps us up. Then that's a good stopping point. Oh, what'd you have?
Sorry, one question. So we know the director in the next episode. We have no idea who the director of the 8th episode is.
I would think it's Favreau. They're just being coy about it for some dumb reason. I mean, I really don't know why they're being coy about it. I mean, just tell us who the freak.
The problem is there's so many it's Favreau, it's Filoni. No, it's Lucas. But it's
that's the thing. I mean, if it's Lucas, that'll explain why they're being coy about it. But I mean,
I need Crow. I'd love to see that, but I
would.
I feel like that would have leaked.
Lord and Miller, that's who it is. They're getting their make good.
They're getting their make
Michael,
good.
it's your guy.
I was going to say, Michael Arndt writes it and Colin Trevorrow directs it. That's my game. Trank.
Every fired director.
McCallum's coming back, dude. Rick
McCallum. He never
to produce. He's in a gutter somewhere.
He gets a producer credit because whenever Lucas shows up, it's contractually McCallum gets a producer credit.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson.
No, it is not.
No, that would subvert some expectations.
That would break the internet. If that would just. Good grief. Throws Grogu over.
Yeah.
Hey, we finally got you back.
Yeets him down a cliff.
Oh no!
A literal cliffhanger.
No, it won't be him. I think he's. I don't think we'll see him in Star Wars connected ever again.
Look, he's got his Knives Out movies.
Oh yeah, the Knives Out cinematic universe.
Knives Out, I like it. I saw that.
It was good. I did like Knives Out though.
I did too.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've said enough. Anybody have any final thoughts before we end this madness?
No.
I do like that the Empire has very tiny handcuffs
Yeah, that was handy that they had baby shackles. Do they shackle a lot of babies?
They've been preparing because they knew they were going to capture Grogu. So they were molding it.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I guess there's maybe aliens with small wrists.
Yeah, Babu Frick. Babu Frick.
Babu Frick.
They've run into his shackles.
Yeah, he's been around.
The best thing about that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching live. If you're watching on delay, throw a comment in, and I'll do my best to respond to it. Give us a like, a subscribe, click the bell, all that fun stuff.
Smash the bell.
Yeah. Tell all your friends to watch it. To leave rude comments. Like we know we're terrible at this, so
just be brutally honest.
Exactly. Although whenever Rhett's on an episode, there's like 80 views compared to when it's just the three of us, and then it's just like 20.
I bring my flock of groupies.
Yeah, Rhett has some groupies that he brings with him.
It's the CTI crowd coming in.
The CTI crowd are all in prison.
Yeah.
The CTI miscreants show up.
Miscreants.
Like Nate here.
Yeah. He's the only one that's out on furlough.
right.
So good
all
to see
right.
Nate and Fetmatic.
Yeah.
And
Thanks everybody
Craig
for watching.
Melissa.
We will see you next week for what I'm assuming is going to be called the jailbreak. I don't know the title of the episode, but
I like
figured
it.
that's probably what it's going to be called.
It's a prediction.
That's a prediction, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right.